Eagle Ridge Global Academy Gate, 3:28 p.m. A line of sleek black SUVs idled in front of the gold-plated iron gates. Chauffeurs waited behind the wheels while suited bodyguards stood nearby, earpieces in place, scanning the grounds as students poured out from the modern glass building. A black man appeared. No one knew who he was or what his background might be. If you're curious to find out, like this video and subscribe for more powerful, unexpected stories. He wore a navy work jacket, khaki pants, and a pair of worn-out sneakers. In his hand, a bundle of wildflowers tied with a piece of twine. No one paid him any attention until he stepped closer to the gate. "Excuse me, sir." A security guard approached, blocking his path with a curt nod. "This area is for authorized parents only. ID badge required." The man smiled gently, eyes calm. "I'm here to pick up my daughter. Today's her music recital." He handed over a piece of paper written in a child's handwriting. "Daddy, come see me play piano today. Love, Naomi, 2 hearts." The guard glanced at it, unimpressed. "I still need to see your ID. And you can't stand here dressed like that." Across the gate, children were streaming out. Among them, a brown-skinned girl with brightly braided hair scanned the crowd. "Daddy." Naomi ran straight toward the man. "I've been looking for you. I didn't miss a single note today." He knelt down to hug her. "I knew you wouldn't. I'm right on time, just like I promised." Their joy was cut short by a sharp, cutting voice. "We'll let you in here." Victoria Halberd, blonde curls, oversized Chanel sunglasses, flanked by 2 other affluent parents, strode forward. "We pay 70 grand a semester so our kids don't have to share space with strangers like this. Where's security?" Naomi looked up, confused, clutching her father's coat. "Daddy, my friend's mom is looking at you like you're a thief." The guard returned, more forceful this time. "Sir, I'm asking you to leave the premises immediately. If you don't comply, we'll have to call the police." The man didn't react. He leaned down to Naomi and said softly, "I have a gift for you, sweetheart. But let's step away from the gate for a moment, okay?" Naomi whispered, "Are we being kicked out, Daddy?" A breeze passed through, carrying the scent of expensive perfume and the sting of judgment. Victoria raised her phone and started live streaming. "This is why we need stricter campus security. A strange man with no ID, no clearance, approaching students. I'm sending this straight to the board." Through her lens, the man looked up, his expression calm, unbothered. He whispered to Naomi, "They see the clothes I'm wearing. They don't see the value I carry. But I see you, and that's all that matters." Naomi sat on the stone bench near the fence, clutching the bouquet her father had given her. Her eyes were wide, blinking rapidly to keep the tears from falling. Her father sat beside her, one hand gently resting on her shoulder. "Daddy, why did that lady say you're a bad person?" Darius swallowed hard. His voice was soft but steady. "Because some people are used to judging others by what they see on the outside. But it's okay, princess." The school gates swung open. 2 security guards in black suits stepped out, this time with less restraint. One whispered to the other, "Did you call the cops yet?" "Yeah," Ms. Halberd said to handle it immediately. Victoria appeared again, this time accompanied by Principal Spencer Wycliffe, a gray-haired man in his 50s with a tight, concerned expression. "Sir, I've been informed of a serious situation at the front gate." "And you are?" Darius stood, nodding politely. "I'm the father of Naomi Cole, Class 6B. I have an invitation written by her." Victoria cut in, her voice dramatic and accusatory. "No one can verify who he is. He doesn't have a parent ID, not registered in the system, and he's loitering near students like he's about to snatch a purse." "I'm simply waiting to pick up my daughter," Darius replied, calm but firm. "And are we even sure the girl is really his?" Victoria hissed. "With all the child abductions happening, he needs to prove legal guardianship." Naomi burst into tears and stepped in front of her father. "He's my dad. My mom died when I was 3. Her voice cut through the courtyard like a slap. The remaining students froze, watching. Some parents pulled their children away as if Naomi might be contagious. Darius wrapped his arms around his daughter, gently pressing her head to his chest, eyes locked on the principal. I don't know anyone proof of the love I have for my child, but if you need confirmation, check her enrollment records. Principal Wycliffe hesitated. Actually, I don't see your name listed. Victoria jumped in gleefully. Told you. There's no Darius Cole listed as a parent. The only registered legal representative for Naomi is, what was it? CGI Holdings? Darius smiled slightly. That's right. And CGI is me. All eyes turned to him. The principal's jaw dropped. Victoria narrowed her eyes. Excuse me. What did you just say? I'm the chairman of CGI Holdings, the company that completed the acquisition of Eagle Ridge Academy last year. I didn't register myself as a parent because I own this entire institution. The air froze. A student dropped their violin. A parent seated nearby gasped aloud. That man in the work jacket is the new owner of the Eagle Ridge school chain. Naomi looked up, still tearful, but now glowing with pride. I told you, Daddy's never late. Victoria staggered back a step, still gripping her phone, forgetting to enter live stream. Her eyes widened as she realized over 12,000 people were watching. And in that single moment, everyone understood they had just humiliated the one man who could shut down this school with a single signature. Sirens wailed in the distance. Just minutes later, 2 black NYPD patrol cars sped through the school's priority entrance and came to a stop in the courtyard. The school gates swung wide open. 3 officers stepped out. Leading them was Lieutenant Harris, a tall white man with sharp eyes and over 2 decades of experience handling community incidents. The 2 officers behind him kept their hands close to their holstered weapons. We received a report of a suspicious male approaching students without authorization. Who made the call? Harris asked, scanning the crowd until his gaze landed on Darius, the black man holding a sobbing little girl in his arms. Victoria stepped forward, still holding her phone mid-live stream. I made the call. That man approached a student without going through the proper procedures. He refused to show ID. That child could have been abducted. Naomi choked out through her tears. That's my dad. He's my dad. One officer moved in. Sir, we need you to step away from the student and present identification immediately. I'm picking up my daughter, Darius replied calmly. I've already explained this to school staff, and I don't need to show credentials to stand on property I legally own. Property you own? Lieutenant Harris raised an eyebrow. Correct. Darius pulled a phone from his pocket. On the screen was a message. CGI Holdings, owner of the Eagle Ridge Academy system. Verified legal authority, Darius Cole. Lieutenant Harris hesitated. One of the officers leaned in and whispered, I think I've seen this guy before. Might have been on Forbes. Victoria snapped, her voice sharp like a blade. Don't let him fool you. That's got to be fake. Look at him. No one who owns a prestigious international school dresses like a damn plumber. A loud ding cut through the tension. Harris glanced at his phone. A message from NYPD Public Affairs read, Do not engage Darius Cole, chairman of CGI Holdings, major donor to NYPD Youth Scholarship Fund. Incident currently streaming live on Twitter. Over 50,000 viewers. Harris swallowed hard. Mr. Cole, my apologies. It appears there's been a misunderstanding. No, Darius interrupted, his voice firm, deep. This isn't a misunderstanding. It's a pattern. He lifted Naomi into his arms. She clung to him like he was the only safe place in the world. You came with your hands near your weapons because a black man stood outside his daughter's school. And not one person here, not a teacher, not the principal, not security, stood up for that father. Silence. A phone slipped from someone's hand. A father holding his own child exhaled heavily, realizing he had said nothing and done nothing. Victoria, flushed and cornered, tried one last time. You may be the investor, but I'm the head of the parent association. I have a responsibility to protect the learning environment. Darius turned to her, locking eyes. And I have the authority to end your term right now. He turned to Principal Spencer. I'm requesting an emergency meeting with the full leadership team this afternoon. And perhaps it's time we prepare for some major changes. 5 p.m. The executive boardroom on the 6th floor of Edelridge's main academic building. Darius stepped in, still in his simple clothes, still carrying that calm, steady gaze. But this time he wasn't alone. Behind him walked Melinda Haynes, senior legal counsel for CGI Holdings, accompanied by 2 assistants carrying a stack of documents thick enough to rival the United Nations Charter. Every eye in the room followed their entrance. No one spoke, but everyone knew. This was the moment of reckoning. On the other side of the long table sat Principal Spencer Wycliffe, 3 board members, and, summoned urgently, Victoria Halberd, her face pale as chalk, eyes glued to her vibrating phone, which buzzed nonstop with thousands of shares of the now viral video. Edelridge mom accuses black dad of kidnapping and gets exposed. Darius began. I didn't come here to make a scene. I came to clarify something that should never have needed clarifying in the first place. I'm not an intruder. I'm the owner. He gave a slight nod. Melinda opened the file, pulling out an official document stamped by the New York State Corporate Division. This is a certified statement confirming CGI Holdings acquired full ownership of Edelridge Global Academy in October of last year. The buyer listed is Darius Cole. Principal Wycliffe adjusted his glasses. I wasn't aware. The investors dealt only through representatives. Exactly, Darius replied. That was by my request. I wanted my daughter, Naomi, to have a normal life, to not be called the owner's kid, to not be treated differently. But today that line was crossed. Victoria spoke up, voice trembling. Mr. Cole, I'm sorry if things went too far, but you must understand, as a mother. No, Darius interrupted, his voice sharp, steel-edged. You weren't acting like a mother. You were acting like a gatekeeper of privilege. You live-streamed call my daughter a possible kidnapping victim. You summoned police without asking my name, without once asking Naomi hers. Melinda nodded, placing another folder on the table. We've documented over 15,000 public comments condemning Mrs. Halberd's behavior. Several statements have been issued by major news outlets. This incident has become a global case study in racial and class discrimination within elite education. The air in the room grew thick. Darius reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a faded printout. Naomi's essay from last semester titled, My Hero is My Dad. He read aloud. My dad doesn't wear a suit. He doesn't drive a fancy car. But he always shows up on time. He always listens to me. And he never lets anyone make me feel small. He folded the paper and laid it gently on the table. Everyone stared at it in silence. This is why I bought this school. Not to control it, to protect it. And today I'm forced to use that control for that exact reason. Principal Wycliffe sat up straighter. Mr. Cole, what do you want us to do? Darius looked him square in the eyes, then turned toward Victoria. I want a public apology. From Ms. Halberd, delivered to the entire student body. And I want systemic change. Mandatory diversity and inclusion training for all staff. A full restructuring of the Parent Association. Every parent, regardless of wealth, must sign a commitment to anti-discrimination. Victoria stammered. And if I refuse, then today's footage will be the opening exhibit in my legal case, Darius said. And believe me, the public is more than ready to handle the rest. He stood. The silence I witnessed today forced me to speak. But after today, I hope Naomi can simply be a student. And I just a dad. With that, Darius turned and walked out of the room. Monday morning, the gates of Edelridge buzzed with students returning after the weekend. But something in the air felt different. In the main lobby, the digital announcement board displayed a message that left every parent stunned. Welcome to Diversity and Respect Week. All students and parents will attend community awareness sessions. The parent association is officially dissolved. New elections will take place next week. Any parent violating anti-discrimination policies may be suspended from participating in school affairs at Edelridge. Victoria Halberd stood frozen in front of screen. The once fawning glances from fellow parents had turned into cold avoidance. Meanwhile, Naomi walked into her classroom beaming, immediately surrounded by friends. No more awkward stares. No more whispers behind her back. And Darius? He sat quietly on a wooden bench in the rear courtyard, sipping a cup of hot coffee, watching from a distance. Principal Wycliffe approached him. "Mr. Cole, I didn't expect you to handle it all so gracefully." Darius offered a faint smile. "I don't need anyone to be humiliated in front of my daughter. I just need them to learn something." The principal took a sip of his own coffee, then said in a low voice, "Kids aren't born prejudiced. Adults teach them that. And now, adults must take responsibility to unteach it." A student walked by and waved enthusiastically. "Hi, Mr. Darius." He waved back with a smile. The punishment had been delivered, not through power, but by re-educating an entire system. And that is how a man like him wins. 3 months later, it was a gentle Friday morning. The sign in front of the school now bore a new name. Edelridge, a school where everyone belongs. In the back courtyard, a space once reserved for VIP parents only had been transformed into the parent coffee garden, a place where anyone could sit, chat, and watch their children learn, regardless of skin color or wealth. Darius sat in the last row. No speeches, no media appearances, just a quiet father watching his daughter shine. The principal approached and asked softly, "Will you be investing more into Edelridge, Mr. Cole?" Darius shook his head gently. "I've invested enough. Now it's time for this community to grow on its own." Then he walked away, without needing to be recognized, without applause. He left behind only one thing: a better school, because today it finally learned how to treat everyone with fairness. If you ever witness someone being mistreated just because of how they look, will you stay silent, or will you speak up? Leave a comment below. We want to hear your story.